18th Sutra of the Vibhuti Pada, describing another Vibhuti. The sutra is Samskara Sakshat Karanat Purvajati Jnanam. Samskara Sakshat Karanat Purvajati Jnanam. Samskara Sakshat Karanat Purva Jati Jnanam. That is the sutra. Samskara, hidden latent tendencies, samskaras. Sakshat Karanat, Sa Aksha Karanat it is. Sakshat Karanat. Sa Aksha Karanat. Actually it means bringing in front of the eyes. But Sakshat Karanat means bringing into the consciousness. The hidden latent tendencies are brought back into consciousness. What happens? Purva Jati Jnanam. Purva is previous, earlier. Jati is the life, birth, status, Jnanam, knowledge. So what is the Vibhuti in this? The Vibhuti in this is by bringing back the samskaras, we get the knowledge of the previous births or previous lives. By bringing into consciousness the latent hidden samskaras, the knowledge of the previous lives or births. Samskara itself means packed up experiences of the past. What is present now becomes past in future. The experiences which undergo now, in their most smallest residual, last residual tendencies become and termed as samskaras. And this last residual packed up, hidden, latent experiences, which are the samskaras, as if they are retained or recorded. We have a number of experiences. Memory is one part of it. So once it is recorded, it is retained, it was in the memory, means there was somewhere within us, within the chitta, this recording, retention of the residual experiences were there. They are the samskaras. And if these samskaras are brought up by the samyama, as they are packed up with the experiences, those packing up becomes unpacked. It will be unzipped. And that unzipping process, which contains the previous lives, Purvajatihi, and the knowledge comes into expression. It is like the smallest seed of a banyan tree, the smallest seed of a peepal tree contains entire banyan tree in that. It contains entire peepal tree in that. What is going to be the huge, vast, expansive banyan tree in future, maybe after 50 years, maybe after 100 years, that entire banyan trees is packed, zipped in the smallest seed of the banyan, smallest seed of the people tree. And if you perform the samyama on that, and if you unzip it, the previous, the past is expressed in front of us. And the present sutra tells the method of reviving, remembering the past lives. Purvajati it is called. And the process is almost the same as the revival of the memories. If we can remember what happened yesterday, we can also remember what happened 1 year back. And we remember. What happened in our childhood, we remember. Even after the later age, that means those samskaras are there. Similarly, if we can go beyond, still further, and that science is the samyama. And usually, some outside stimulus causes the reactivation and the revival of the samskaras, and thus comes up the remembrance of the past happenings. Many a times, such external stimulus is not perceivable, not remembered. But then it happens. And if a systematic, sequential order of the transformation is performed, we can definitely, the Vibhuti comes into our hand. That's what Maharishi Patanjali tells in this particular sutra, that the samyama by which sakshat karanat, you have made those samskaras sakshat karanat, made it to happen, made it to be seen. And the behind, the hidden, the latent, in those samskaras, you get the knowledge out of it. This is the penetrating and searching process of the samyama. As we have seen earlier sutras in the first chapter, especially the 17th sutra, 42nd sutra, 43rd sutra of the first chapter, which spoke about the samapattis and the karmashayas, and unraveling them, revoking them, brings back the previous birth's knowledge of the previous births. Swami Vivekananda again beautifully summarizes this particular sutra, the 18th sutra, which we have just said, that the samskara sakshat karanat purvajati jnanam. Vivekananda ji, Swamiji says, each experience that we have comes in the form of a wave in the chitta, and this subsides and becomes finer and finer, but is never lost. It remains there in minutest form, and if we can bring this wave up again, it becomes a memory. So if the yogi can make a samyama on these past impressions in the mind, he will begin to remember all his past lives. How wonderfully Swami Vivekananda concludes his commentary on this particular sutra. So it is possible even for all of us to understand, to know our past lives, if we perform samyama on our own hidden samskaras. And that is the sutra presented by Maharishi Patanjali. And let us see the further vibhutis. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.